Hey guys, it's Ryan the Tokyo Fun Hunter. I just had thought of an idea to kind of give to you guys about if you're brand new to Japan, you just landed, what do you do? And to be quite honest, my first time to Japan, I had no idea what to do. I was supposed to meet a friend, and they didn't show up for about like an hour, and I was like a little panicky because at the time, I don't even know where I'm going, what to do. It was kind of like all up in the air, spontaneous trip. Yeah, that was my first time to Japan. So I thought I'd give you guys a little, some information on what to do if you come to Japan and it's your first time and you just don't know what to do. Where should you go? What should you do? I'm going to take you through the process of when you land to, kind of basically wherever your hotel is. Okay? So, this is what happens. So you land, and let's say you're on the flight. Well, the first thing you're going to be getting is they're going to announce, well, we're heading to Tokyo. It's beautiful weather. It's this sunny afternoon. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. We thank you so much for flying, Delta Airlines. First thing you're going to get is your customs check. Now, Japanese government laws and immigration, they're very, very picky. They get a lot of people coming in all the time. So you want to be as thorough as you want. And on the customs form, as well as your immigration form, it's going to have basically one of the thing ones is what is your address, where you're staying in Japan. And this could be anything. This could be the hotel name, your friends, but you got to have at least an address. I recommend always, writing down the address in your phone or a little thing. Or if you're staying with a friend, make sure you know their address beforehand, before you go. You need to know this. I would also recommend printing out a map, a Google map, whatever. If you're staying with a friend, this is only when you're staying with a friend or a hotel. Print out a Google map of where you're staying. It's a lot easier. To be honest, in the maps, the way the city's kind of been set up, in America, it's all about blocks. Things are really nice, crisp and cut, excuse me. But in Tokyo, things kind of were built in different times and periods, so it's a really zigzag area. It's very easy to get lost if you don't have a smartphone. If you don't have a smartphone, please print your map beforehand, know the address, know the telephone number. It would be very easier in case you had to get a taxi or something or ask for directions. A lot better. So before you get a touchdown, fill out the customs declaration. Man, today not my best speaking day. The declaration, customs declaration, and your immigration. And make sure you have, if you're just visiting, you have a round trip ticket. Okay? You can't have a one-way. They will not let you in the country. If you're going to be working there, that's okay. You can have a one-way as long as you have the special visa documents. I've been in and out of Japan many times, and I still get stopped all the time, even though I've had valid working visas. So go through, get the stuff done beforehand so you're not waiting at the corner. Get it done while you're on the flight. And then basically, when you pass through everything, it's a really long corridor actually, to get to your baggage area and to get to immigration. And they have like a little health check-in booth. Nobody really like goes in through it, and I doubt if you were really sick you should ever check in because they're gonna make you like boot off. Unless you're dying or got cancer or something really contagious, you don't have to bother with that. Don't worry so much about it. You go to the immigration, they check your forms, and then they take a little photo of you as well as they get your fingerprints. It's not a hard process. Don't worry about it. Everybody gets nervous. I still get nervous, getting your picture taken in the thumbprints, but don't worry about it. It takes really fast. All you have to do is smile, be friendly, tell them the truth. Unless, of course, you're going to be there for longer than 3 months. Yeah, also, a little side note. The visa process, if you're going to be there for a temporary visa, that is, if you're traveling, if you're just visiting friends, the max you can stay inside the country is 90 days. 90 days. Nowadays, though, if you're working, they've extended it. Back when I first got my first visa, it was like you can go in between 1 year and 3 years. 1 year and 3 years. Usually 1 year is the norm. Nowadays, they've extended it actually to 5 years. 5-year working holiday visa. I recently just did my redid my visa application for last week, and I put myself down for a 5-year visa. I don't think I'm going to be here that long, to be honest. I got other things in mind, but it's good just to have it just in case, to come and go as I please without having to deal with it anymore. It really does take a hassle. So you just got through immigration. You know, you got your carry-on stuff, and now it's the baggage thing. And the baggage thing, people are so helpful. By the way, all the little carts to push all your bags are free. It's great, and it's going to show you exactly where to go on time. And to be honest, a lot of times your baggage is already there beforehand. Usually if you go to other airports, you're waiting there. But in Narita International Airport, which is in not really in Tokyo, but Tokyo International Airport, it's already waiting there. Grab your bags, go to where all the sort of cop-looking immigration officials are, and they're just going to ask, are you visiting? Is it for personal, or is it personal or business? How long are you staying with your friends? It's just kind of like that last little, like, are you here for what you say you're going to be here for? And then you get through that. Right there, after you get through the doors, you got a couple different things. So it's a sort of mall-looking entrance, and there's a waiting area. I recommend if you're meeting a friend there, just make sure to say, I'm going to meet you in the waiting area. It's very easy. Make sure you know which terminal. But that's where everybody meets, like families, friends, you know, the big reunion. It's fun, and there's a few different things you can do. So, what to do? Well, the first thing I recommend is getting some money. Now, there are some international exchanges. Now, I would recommend doing it here. You know, do not do it at a hotel. Do not do it anywhere other places, because the exchange rate fee that they usually do is a lot. Do it at the airport. It really is sometimes actually a better deal. You know, that doesn't happen at every airport, but usually Tokyo is a pretty good one to exchange your currency. I would recommend doing it. It's right next to the waiting area. I do it there all the time. And hey, it depends. If you're going to be there for about 3 days, I would really, you know, have aside a good $500 or Goemon in your bank account. This, you know, Japanese society is a cash society. They don't do cards that much. So you want to have a lot of cash on you. Not too much in case you lose it and it's bad. But you want enough to last you at least a couple days. Next thing you do is, you know, if you want to get a cell phone, they have the prepaid services right there across the counter. They have the bus services. They have the taxis. They have all this stuff. But if you are coming to Japan to live and to work, I recommend going to the Kuroneko. Okay, there's more than one, but basically it's the packaging services that they have at the airport. It's in the same lobby as all this stuff I'm talking about, and it's very, very useful. You know, and it's really cheap, extremely cheap. I'm talking about 1,000 yen, which is like $10, to transport your biggest, heaviest item. You know, think of the biggest suitcase you're going to bring for overseas travel, or a snowboard, or something huge. And it only costs $10 to get you to your final destination. Make sure you have the address on you, but it's really cheap and really convenient. Instead of lugging it for hours and hours and hours through the trains and the subways and the people in the city, just $10 to have, you know, hands-free. It's going to be there waiting for you. This is if you're living. If you're just there to, like, you know, travel, I would just take it with you, you know, especially if you've never done it before. If you're going to be there for at least a year, this is really ideal, because you're going to be using this service probably more than once, and it's good to at least do it on your luggage first. Make sure you have the correct address, but it's a really fast service, and it's good to get your bigger, more heavier bags out of the way. So I'd use that service. Next thing you do, you go downstairs to the trains, unless you're getting picked up. But if you're going to the train station, you go downstairs, and there's the JR East Center. Now, here's a few options you could do. You go downstairs, and you could take the local trains. Local trains, it's about, I'd say, 2,000 yen to get from Narita Airport to Tokyo Station, the central hub in Tokyo. About 2,000 yen, which is about $20. You're going to be getting on and off. You could do that if you're on a super tight budget, and you know it's going to be a lot slower. It's going to be about 5 hours to get there. And I'm being honest, it's never going to say that on the computer, but with all the time waits and everything, and to figure it all out your first time, it's going to take you about 4 to 5 hours. I would recommend using the Narita Express. It's about 3,000 yen, or $30, and it's going to get you a straight shot right from Narita International Airport to Shinjuku, Tokyo, or some of the big center hubs. It's about 3,000, and it's a nice express. It's not a Shinkansen. It's a little bit lower, but it's an express, and you have a nice seat. So you have a reserved seat, and you can relax. And to be honest, once you've been traveling on a plane for like 15 hours or something, you're not really in the mood to like stand on the local trains. You want to get to your destination. So I would recommend the Narita Express. Now there's a couple ways you can do this. If you have purchased the J-Rail Pass, you want to go downstairs and go to the Japan East Center. There you can exchange your certificate for a JR East Pass, and that usually gives you 1 week to 2 weeks of completely free travel anywhere on the JR lines. That's really, really good if you're traveling. I definitely recommend doing that. That is awesome. It gets to travel everywhere. You get to see everything. If you're coming to visit, if you're coming and you have a working visa, unfortunately, you can't get it. But you still can get the Narita Express, and I recommend actually doing it at that JR. Even if you're just a visitor or working, and you're a foreigner and you show your passport when you're getting the Narita Express, you get this really, really cool looking Narita Express Suika. Now, what is a Suika? Suika is kind of like this charge card. As you're going through the ticket barrier, you just and it passes you through, and it's rechargeable. You charge 1,000 yen, 2,000 yen. Once a week or once a day, depending on how much you travel. But it's a really convenient, fast way to go. It's pretty much a really fast way to get through the ticket barrier. The other way is to actually constantly buy a smaller ticket and just do that. It's good to keep track. But the Suika card is kind of the main way that a lot of Japanese people do it. If you're going to be there longer than a week, I recommend getting one. It's a lot more convenient and faster. You're not carrying around as much change. But if you do it at JR East, especially at Narita Airport, you get a really cool looking one that's very special to foreigners. I have one. Actually, let me show you guys. So mine, it's a little scratched up, but if you see, you can see the Japan Endless Discovery. Let's go this way, and you see the Narita Express right there. It's really, really cool. The normal Suika is just this plain kind of like, standard card that Japanese people get. And whenever my friends see this card, they're always like, whoa, what did you get that? That's an amazing, you gotta be like, oh, I know people, no big deal. So I recommend going through that. It's really, really fun. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Sorry, my roommate walked in at that one point. But yeah, it's a really great card. It's a really, really cool card to have. It's like also like if I ever leave Japan, a little Tokyo memento. So you could do that, get the Suika, or you can get just a one-way ticket. By the way, if you get that Suika, if I remember correctly, you get a free 1,000 yen on your Suika. I'm pretty sure you get free money on that Suika, so that might be a good way to go. That's only available again at the JR East Center at Tokyo International Airport, Narita Airport. So I would recommend doing that. Now, next step. That's actually kind of all the steps. So then you get on your train, and by the way, everything is in English. It's an international station. By the way, if you see the guides or information consultants, the information girls, don't be afraid to use English. They all speak English. That's part of their job. Some other services they have at the airport, you can actually store, if you're going to be there hopping countries, you can store bags there, bigger bags, if you don't want to be lugging it around. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, so you get on the Narita Express or the, the local trains. You go, it's going to take you about an hour, hour and a half. If you take the local, it's going to take a lot longer. But you get to Tokyo, and make sure that before you arrive, you either ask your friend who you're meeting or the hotel, what is the nearest station? What is the nearest station in Tokyo? Usually the hotels are definitely going to tell you how to get there from Narita Airport. It's kind of a standard thing. If you're brand new, that's how they stay in business. But let's say you get all the way to Tokyo. You get all the way to Tokyo or Shinjuku. You don't know what to do. Well, go to the information guide. There's going to be a big map. And there's one train line that goes in a big loop all around Tokyo. It's called the Yamanote line or the Green Line. It's a bright green line. And there's different tracks that go all throughout this, but the big green one is really the main transportation system that you can get to anywhere in Tokyo through that system. And that's going to probably be the main one you're going to be using. You use that, it's going to have probably a list of all the major stations for you to get to. It's not hard. Make sure you're going in the right direction. You can go out the whole thing for about an hour, to be honest. It's really big, but also like it goes in a continuous loop. But after that, as long as you know where the final destination point is, make sure you have a map, by the way, of the printed out system. It can be a little tricky when you go in. It's never that like the second right on the this street. You gotta really look at the map, turn yourself to make sure the map is proportionate to where you are, and you're gonna have to follow that line to your final destination. Yeah, I hope that helped. I'll do another video log on kind of some other tips about, if you're traveling within Japan, what to do with lockers and so forth, but that's another conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this helps you if you're brand new coming in from the airport, that I hope I guided you the right way. And guys, try to get that Suika at the JR East if you get a chance, okay? Alright guys, take care. Bye-bye.